Wow. I'm going to make it very brief. Dennis Rodman, Bill Parcells, myself, Mike Francesa. That's how the blonde hair came to be about a decade ago. And if I do run for mayor, I'm sure I'm going to get elected with this kind of hairdo. But, wow. I wouldn't know where to begin. Escapades, summer jobs. I'm certain I've got the best of the best. Howard was, to me, the most conservative, calculated mathematician with a terrific sense of humor, unequaled by anyone. I want to recall the summer of 1975. I believe when we graduated high school, I'm certain I got a high school diploma, college degree as well. But my apologies if this offends anyone, but Howard and I were certain we were going to get a job as a park ranger, or park rangers, Yellowstone National Park. And I scraped up whatever money I had, and Howard was kind enough to drive, and we drove out there. And as terrific a mathematician as Howard was, and so calculated in all his plans, he said, you know what, let's go to the park. Let's make it look like we apply for the job. Let's mail the postcards back to our parents. Let's make the collect call. Remember the collect calls would appear on your phone bill back then? We made the collect calls to our parents, and he said, you know what, the heck with this job, we're going to Vegas. And Howard and I stayed in Las Vegas the entire summer of '75. I'm so sorry because I told my mom maybe a decade ago. I couldn't believe that he never told you. Howard never told me he dated my sister until about 5 or 10 years ago. So, but that's the kind of guy he was. We did last the entire summer. I couldn't even tell you the escapades. We were chased from our hotel room one night. I don't know why. We were accused of stalking the hotel manager's girlfriend, and he ran me into a park, and Howard kind of rescued me from a brawl that evening. But we made it. We made it through the whole summer, and you know, I loved your son. I mean, I loved Howard more than one life, and I didn't see these things coming. He was extremely brave. He shielded me from his daily routines, and all the phone calls I got, even up to a month ago or 2 months ago, excuse me, were he was always upbeat, and he was always, he loved life beyond anyone, beyond life itself. I mean, Dave Brooks and Laz and Peter, I mean, always you were in his thoughts. And even a couple months ago, I guess I must have been the subject of some conversation about my political career in South Brunswick, New Jersey, and I guess my name came up with Peter and with Laz about being in politics, and I was challenged about, you know, there was no way that could be true. And Howard called me, as he always did, 2, 3, 4 in the morning Eastern time. He knew I was up late, and he actually started Googling all the information that I gave him, because this was going to be another one of his great stings. He was going to get over on Laz, he was going to get over on Peter for a lot of money. He was going to start some kind of situation where maybe I wasn't in politics, and at the very end Howard was going to let the cat out of the bag and again spoil their fun. And Peter, my God, I mean, the stories are endless. I think the time we convinced Peter to sell us a pending lottery $10,000 winner for a quarter. We only need to scratch off one more box, and we got Peter to sell it to us for a quarter. Mrs. K, I mean, I love you, but I was responsible for putting all those horse racing gambling tickets in your kitchen and making it look like your son was a big-time gambler. We got into a lot of trouble, to say the least, but it was great fun. And I mean, I hate the Rangers passionately. Hate the Rangers. I love the New Jersey Devils. Marty Brodeur, the whole 9 yards. Howard knew this. I love the fact that he'd have to come home from tutoring at midnight his time and watch the rerun of the Rangers game where I already knew the results that they had lost. Especially when they lost and the Devils had won, Howard would call it the Great Exacta. I love the fact that I just was sitting there knowing the results of the game, and he'd have to come home from a hard day's work and watch the replays of another losing season for the Rangers. But all in all, there's a common thread. I've been reflecting a lot about Howard lately in the last few months, and there's a lot of things for all of us he reminds us of. But the common thread is when I read those emails from the memorial in California and from the students, I never realized how much joy and happiness that he brought to everybody. And you think you're alone, and then you realize, God, he touched so many lives. And that's how I'd like to sum up Howard. And he touched all of us in a special way, and it'll never be forgotten. There's a piece of Howard in all of us. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.